What's up? Brandon Lilly here. We're going to talk about some weight class madness. I made a post through a buddy of mine's page on Instagram. Basically just said, the strongest, fastest salmon is still going to get eaten by the bear. And I use that as a relative term. And I've also been quoted as saying there's no weight class in the jungle, and people rip shit on that. But here's the true point of what I'm trying to say when I talk about this stuff. It's not me diminishing a light lifter. It's not me diminishing anybody who cuts for a weight class. It's not me diminishing a Wilks. I know what a good Wilks score is. I know what a good total is relative to body weight. I know what a good squat is relative to body weight, bench and so on, deadlift. But what I'm saying is I hate seeing the trend of younger lifters and even more experienced lifters who will trade their potential. Let's say you're a 200-pound lifter and 198 class is your preference. If you've squatted all cycle long and it indicates that you're going to squat, let's say 300 kilos, 660 pounds, that's a massive squat. That's 3.3 times body weight. And let's say you're doing that all cycle long at 205. Well, you get into the competition, you make weight at 198, and that's a small, contrast. I mean, it would be more like if you weighed 220 and got down to 198. And you sacrifice that 660 squat to squat 600. My point as a power lifter and as the understanding of the rules as I was told them, it is squat, bench, and deadlift, and that the biggest total is the goal that you're shooting for, to lift the most weight possible. Now, understanding that weight classes and Wilks scores and all these other formulas came into play, but the emphasis for a lifter should be to lift the most weight possible. And I see lifters routinely focus more on making weight and getting into their weight class than they do lifting the most weight possible. That's all I'm saying. I don't have a preference over a heavyweight guy over a smaller guy. I think it's absolutely ridiculous to tell me that a lighter deadlift is more impressive than, say, Eddie Hall's 500 kilo deadlift. I mean, that's just 1,100 pounds. That's new world. There's nothing bigger or better than that. I mean, there's some guys that are doing some amazing things at lighter weight classes, and Yuri Belkin, that you might be able to throw him in the mix as comparable to that type of level. But to me, it's still 500 kilos, and until somebody surpasses that, that's the king of the deadlifts for me. So I love weight class competition. I love, people keeping up with Wilks, and I love people coming into the sport. I just hate seeing younger lifters get influenced to do things that they shouldn't be doing just yet. I think you need to be lifting and competing 3 to 5 years before you really start focusing on your weight class. Just let it happen naturally and see what becomes of it, and then focus on hitting a big total and then working that same total down into a lighter weight class. That's what I would do. That's what I suggest. Am I right? Am I wrong? Probably either one, depending on what your preference is. We all have opinions. We're all allowed to, but that's it. That's my final word on weight classes. To me, be as strong as you can possibly be, and nobody will care what you weigh. Have a good day.